Hello and welcome to another Retro Cores Gaming Pickups, and today we're doing something a little bit special because we're in Book Off. Yep, Book Off sell lots of games, as I'm sure you know, so let's check out the shop with some sneaky undercover filming. So right now we're looking at the Nintendo DS and Nintendo 3DS section, but moving over here we can see we've got some old school retro games and a couple of guidebooks as well. Now this shop doesn't have that many retro games like other shops have, but they do have a few Famicom games and Nintendo 64 and whatnot. So let's take a closer up look. Yeah, it's a shame because a lot of them are unboxed, just put into these little trays here, but you can have some good deals if you look closely. Up at the top there are a few old classics such as Super Mario Brothers here. Oh sorry, just the regular Mario Brothers, that's fully boxed, that's for the Famicom. And here we got a WonderSwan game, fully boxed as well. Not sure what it is. Now here's one I didn't know even existed, Dead or Alive, on the 3DS. Might have to pick that up. Looks pretty good on the screenshots. So we've got some nice UMDs there for the old PSP, and some classic PlayStation games. Notice it says old soft. Some Dreamcast there as well, and GameCube. Yeah, that guy's getting in there looking at the old Famicom games. We even have some Xbox 360 stuff here, not much, just stuck at the bottom of the PlayStation 2 section, which is also not that substantial. Saying that, they do have some decent games there, including quite a few good beat 'em ups. Let's take a look at some of those. Oh, well that's not a beat 'em up, is it? Let's put that back. Here we go, let's take a look at the beat 'em up. Says King of Fighters 98. Reasonable price. I'll tell you what, filming and trying to get stuff back on the shelf is pretty tricky. Because don't forget I'm filming undercover. Mark of the Wolves there, more Neo Geo action on your PlayStation 2. Maybe Goody Man and King of Fighters. Another classic. Now here's one that no, not that one. I wasn't going to pick that one up. That's Hanei-chan or whatever. This is it. Saint Seiya. This is what I was going to pick up. A beat 'em up based upon Saint Seiya, but I noticed it was made by what was it? People who made those Sonic 4 games and put it straight back. Now the Nintendo Switch section is pretty impressive. Just take a look at how much stuff they've got. And of course, next to Nintendo Switch, we've also got PlayStation 4. Those are the two main machines in Japan, and they have a very, very, very healthy PlayStation 4 section. There's a Persona game there, quite nice. But just check out how much PlayStation 4 stuff they've got. Bloodstains, yep. Even Kickstarter campaign games can be found secondhand in Japan. And with these being Japanese secondhand games, you know that they're all going to be in really, really good quality. Didn't pick any PlayStation 4 stuff up this time round. Main reason being that, yeah, I bought a load last time. Oh look, there's Shenmue 1 and 2, another Kickstarter game. But yeah, I didn't get any PlayStation 4 stuff this time because I still need to finish off a lot of the stuff I already have. A couple of lonely Neo Geo AES games down there, particularly rare titles of course. And even PlayStation Vita gets a bit of love in this shop. Not only box games, but we've also got some solo games. And a really nasty faded Mega Drive game down there, and another Neo Geo AES cartridge. So back from Book Off, let's take a look at the games that were picked up there. And here's the first one. This is the only new game that was picked up in the shop. This is Ori and the Will of the Wisps on the Xbox One X. Now at the time this was an Xbox One console exclusive, but apparently it's being converted to the Switch. But this Xbox One version, when it was originally released, had a lot of issues with frame pacing, and it wasn't really up to snuff. But now, thanks to a patch, it runs at full solid 60 frames per second in 4K, and it looks absolutely wonderful. Now, I played the original Ori game, and unfortunately that is a digital only version for me, and I loved it, so I was really happy to find this one. It was brand new, it's been opened. Excellent game. I've really got into this. Played about 2 hours into it now, and yeah, it's just as good as the original with a few little extra twists. So very nice game indeed. Now, you may remember in the last Game and Pickups video that I did buy a 3DS. Well, what good is a 3DS without some software? Let's get on to the Sega Ages, the 3D collection. So here we go with the first volume of the Sega Ages 3D. And this includes arcade versions of Space Harrier, Fantasy Zone and Outrun, and Mega Drive games, Bare Knuckle, Streets of Rage, the Super Shinobi 2 and Echo the Dolphin, and they've all been given a 3D treatment. Do work fairly well. These are made by M2, by the way. But not only did I get this first compilation, I got the second compilation as well. And now this one is brand new. This one has never been opened. So very, very lucky to pick this up. Only 2,000 yen, brand new, cool. This has arcade versions of Power Drift, Puyo Puyo 2, Galaxy Force, Thunderblade, Altered Beast, and Fantasy Zone 2. Galaxy Force 2, did I call that Fantasy Zone 2? Anyway, and Mega Drive version of Sonic the Hedgehog. Good stuff. So looking forward to playing this one. Have yet to play it, or yet to open it. And we also have the final release in the trilogy of the 3D Sega Ages. As you can see, it says Final Stage, thank you for playing. And this includes arcade versions of Afterburner, Turbo Outrun, Alien Syndrome, Columns, I believe is the arcade version. And we also have Mega Drive games, Sonic 2, Thunder Force 3, Bare Knuckle 2, Gunstar Heroes, and Super Hang-On. Actually, Super Hang-On is the arcade version, not the Mega Drive version. So yeah, good stuff. And this is an excellent package as well. Playing Afterburner in 3D really is cool. It works so well. Okay, so keeping with the retro stuff with Sega, this also got released. Now, to be honest, this didn't come from Book Off, this came from Amazon. This is the release of Mad Stalker Full Metal 4th, a game that was cancelled but released on other platforms back in the day. The Mega Drive version has been found, completed, and now released thanks to Columbus Circle. Alright, and if you don't know, this is a mech walk-along beat 'em up, I suppose you can call it. I did a video on this a while back, so I'll put a link in the video description down below. Check it out if you've not seen it. This was actually released with cooperation from Opera House FamilySoft, the original. Well, FamilySoft is the original developer of this. Opera House bought all their stuff, but yeah, the cool thing about it is the original developer came on board to help complete this one. So very happy that got released. Okay, and on to some more stuff from Book Off. A load of PlayStation budget titles. Now these things can be usually hit and miss, and some of these are very good, and some of them are a load of crap. So let's start off with this one, which is simply known as The Shooting. This is volume 35. Now this one, I'll put a video up there of this one so you can see it running. It's actually a cross between Thunder Force 5 and maybe Einhinder, or Einshider, however you pronounce it. It's a 3D shoot 'em up, 3D shooter, which is played on a 2D plane. It actually looks pretty good for, something that was released as a budget title, and it's got loads of CG cutscenes and a CG intro as well, which do look dated these days, but they were fairly decent for the time. There you go. And just like with most Japanese secondhand games, the disc is absolutely perfect, not a mark on it. Very nice indeed. Okay, next up in the budget range we have The Snowboard. This is volume 27. Now this is a fairly basic snowboarding game. Basically what you get is a game that looks reasonable but doesn't really play all that well. It's basic, you don't get many tricks in it, and there's only one course. Well, it says it's got 27 courses there, but to be honest, it's just one big mountain split up into different sections, so yeah, technically one course. Okay, here we go with another. This is known as the Hikoki, the aeroplane. And if you've ever played, what's it called, Wing Arms on the Sega Saturn, that is a pretty decent dogfighting, old World War plane arcade style shooter. This tries to be that game and it fails miserably. As you can see from the screenshots there on the back, I mean, it kind of looks okay, but it's not. It's very sluggish to play. It's very difficult to find the enemies. The controls are not very nice. And yeah, basically, it just tries to be Wing Arms, but fails miserably. Terrible game. Okay, now here's another one with a very simple title, simply known as The Gun Shooting. This is volume 24. Now this actually turned out to be a surprise hit. Very, very small screenshots there, so I'm going to put a video up there so you can see this running. Basically, what this is an old school arcade shoot 'em up, which you use a light gun on. Oops. And you can see from the instructions, somebody's actually wrote the name of the gun there, the Konami SLPH 00014. Yeah, so somebody was wondering if the Konami gun would also work on this. But they advertise it as working with the Namco Guncom. And yeah, the whole thing is powered by PlayStation graphics, so it's not full motion video, it's a proper game. And yeah, it's very, very nice. It's actually quite arcadey and it was a lot of fun to play. And as you can see, the disc is not in there because it's actually in the machine right now. And finally, we got this one. This is not a budget release. This is a full price release. Well, it's cheap now, but it wasn't back in the day. This is Ray Tracers. Now I'm going to put a video of this up there. Now, what really impressed me about this game is not the fact that it's a modern day version, or was modern when it came out, a modern day version of Chase HQ, but in fact, the thing that really impressed me the most was the way that the environment reflected in the car windows. I mean, you can't really see it from the screenshots there, but from the video up there you can see it. It reflects pretty much the whole stage area in the car windows. And it's not ray tracing, of course, it's just environmental mapping or whatever it's called. But it looked really impressive back in the day. Unfortunately, the same thing can't be said about the CD. Yeah, that's a pretty dull looking CD, isn't it? Okay, so they are all the games picked up from Book Off and a few other extras. Now let's take a look at some hardware. Oh yeah, it's the Arcade 2020. Now I know what you're thinking. Haven't you already reviewed the Arcade 2020? Yes, I have. I reviewed it quite a while back. And a lot of people said that the Arcade 2020 had issues, with powering, overheating, battery running out really quickly and so on. I never had those issues with mine, so maybe mine was a later revision. But this is not the same model. Now the box is the same, but it's not the same inside, and it is quite a lot heavier than the original. The secret will be revealed in an upcoming video to what this actually is. And finally, we have a new joystick. And this is a big one, so I've got to zoom out a little bit here. Here we go. Alright, this is the TMX arcade stick from trfightstick.com. Now this isn't actually a full-on stick. This is basically a base for an arcade stick. As we see on the back, it's made out of steel. Actually, it says steel metal. Well, yeah, obviously. It has a plexiglass top on top of a steel top, that is, so you can put your own artwork behind it. And it supports Quick Connect. It supports all the typical arcade style buttons. And you can get it in a variety of different styles as well. Now the thing is, you have to provide your own buttons, and I'm going to be using this with a Brook arcade USB connector type thingy majig. And I'm going to make a lovely Raspberry Pi joystick out of this, which I can also use on the PC and other things. In fact, I've also started making this, but like an idiot, I went and made the wrong template for the artwork on the top. And let me show you what I mean. Okay, here it is. It is pretty big and it is quite hefty. Now I wanted it to be an Astro City style. Oh god, it is heavy. Astro City style stick. And that is my own template which I made. And it looks fairly decent, I think. It's just quickly stuck in under there at the moment, under the plexi. But you can see the big issue. Yeah. The template I made was actually for a different model to the one I had. So I have to reprint it now, and they're paying the bum because I've got to reprint it at work because it uses A3 paper. But yeah, I mean, it looks a bit gropey there, but when it sticks in with the little, what you call it? I don't know what you call it now, dust cap or whatever is over that, you won't see that at all. That'd be perfectly flush. And you can see with these buttons up here. But anyway, yeah, I got to redesign this and move these buttons down here, the little prints, so it all lines up nicely. But yeah, it's a fairly substantial stick. And if we look around this side, it's got 3 more buttons there for options. And on the back, geez, it is heavy. 3 more buttons for more options there. A couple of power switches, so maybe these are switches to change options or not, or whatever, I'm not sure yet. And there's your USB connector. And if we look at the bottom, look at that. We can see that, again, it has some plexiglass on there. It's not scratched or anything, it's got some kind of cover on there, so I'll take that off and it'll be nice and clean. And it does come with the connecting board built in, so basically all you got to do is provide the Brook arcade wiring box, whatever they bloody call it, and connect all your wires up and stuff, and you'll be good to go. Alright, so that is something I am planning to get made maybe in the next week or so. But yeah, so there we have it. They are the gaming pickups from me over the last couple of days, or sorry, couple of weeks I should say. Some nice stuff there, some retro stuff, and some crap stuff as well. But not everything can be good, can it? Saying that, you guys have been buying some pretty good stuff, so let's check out the stuff that you guys have been buying. And remember, if you want to have your gaming pickups featured on the next gaming pickups video, send them to the email address right there. Alright, until next time guys, take it easy and keep on gaming. See ya.